Hello there and welcome to the Champions League preview, which sees Liverpool facing FC Midtjylland, I think is how you say the name, or is at least one way of saying the name that I've heard anyway. So, hope you guys are doing very, very well. Hope you're looking forward to tomorrow night as well. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock, so for me, it's going to be a very, very late night anyway, because I get up at 2 in the morning. I always get that in somewhere anyway. Hope you guys are good. Let me know who you think is going to be starting in this game tomorrow. It's going to be an important game, obviously. I think every single game is going to be very, very important. And I also don't think that every single game is going to be a walk in the park. Even against someone like Midtjylland, who, to be honest, the only time I ever remember hearing of them, I think, was when they played against Manchester United in the Europa League a couple of years ago. That's the last time I've ever really properly heard of them until they got announced in our group this year. Now, they will have a little bit of confidence. They'll probably feel quite good. They came up against Brøndby in their league, and they came from behind to win 3-2. And I think they sit third in their league as well. I think they've got like 4 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss as well. So they're doing well in their league as well. I don't know the quality of their league. It's not a league that I watch. So I'm not going to like criticize or overhype anyone's league or anything like that. I literally can't tell you anything about it. It is what it is. But we face these guys tomorrow night, and they're in the Champions League, and they are there for a reason, and they will pose threats. No doubt, they will pose threats. I didn't actually look at what their result was in the Champions League last time out. Who did they play? Who did they play? Indeed. Okay, they got beat 4-0 by Atalanta. All right, fair enough. But Atalanta are a decent team as well. Very, very quick team as well. So it's got it for us. We need to make sure that we go out there and go out there with real good purpose, put in a very, very good performance, put in a good attacking performance, but also a good defensive performance as well. Now, what we'll probably see from Liverpool here is a little bit of a mixture in the team that's actually selected. Now, Jurgen Klopp has already confirmed in a press conference earlier today that Thiago, Naby Keita, and Joel Matip will not be available for this game. A couple of them, I think at least Thiago especially, is making very good progress in his recovery from injury and such like that as well. But they're not going to be available tomorrow night. So that kind of leaves it a little bit open in the midfield. It might mean that we see a similar sort of midfield to the one that we had out last time out in our last game. Most of the apps like FOTMob and such like that are predicting that we're going to put Naby Keita and Thiago in there. Obviously, we know that they're not available. So it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. We've got options anyway. But I think we need to come to the front line in this one. Obviously, people will be looking at it thinking, all right, we don't need to go out there with Salah, Mane and Firmino. We don't need to be doing that. Now, what we could do is something similar to what we did in the last game against Sheffield United, where we were able to start like Jota, Sadio Mane, Firmino, Salah, all of these guys all together. We could do something similar to that. And why not? I'm a fan of it. It gives us a lot of attacking options, gives us a lot of fluidity in the front line as well. But I imagine, if anything, we're going to see a couple of changes. Maybe if we do go back to the 4-3-3 for this game, or whatever lineup we go into, I think we could see a couple of changes here. Like, I think we could see Firmino drop down to the bench, and Minamino get a chance. And I'm a big fan of Minamino, massive fan of Minamino, and I want to see him get a chance. And that's what I'm going for in the front line. I think he's such a good player that just isn't getting the minutes at the moment that I feel he deserves. And while Bobby Firmino scored a goal against Sheffield United, and it's really good to get Bobby back on the score sheet for us, I do feel that Minamino can give us something just a little bit different, a little bit more maybe dynamic, if anything, a little bit more of an attacking threat rather than trying to be more of a conductor, more of a linking of the play and such like that. And while Minamino can do all of that, he's much more direct when it comes to going towards goal, taking shots on from outside the box, inside the box. He's much more dangerous, in my opinion, than Firmino at that type of role. And we want to go into this game, we want to kill off the game, like, in my opinion. We don't want to necessarily have another Ajax game where we score a goal, all right, it was an own goal in the end, but we get a goal, and then we're having to really defend very, 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 very well, but also it's very, very difficult. We don't want to have one of those types of games. We want to have maybe a little bit more of a comfortable game, maybe get 1 goal early, 2 goals early or something like that, and we can maybe hopefully start to ease off a little bit. I don't know what the opinion is on that anyway, but let me know what you think in the comments below. But for me, I would like to see Minamino start in this game. I would also like to see Jota start in this game as well. And if we're going to go for a full front three rest, which I'm thinking that we might, and then if things aren't going our way, then we can always bring these guys on. Then I think I wouldn't mind seeing a Jota, Minamino, and Shaqiri front three. Some people still question Shaqiri. I still think he's a very good quality player, and I wouldn't mind seeing him get some good minutes as well. If we still had Harvey Elliott, if he hadn't gone out on loan, I would actually be putting him in there as well as a good option, someone that could come on from the bench as well. But he's not, so he's out on loan. I think why not use the players that we've got here anyway? Use these guys, get them some good minutes, and it also gets them in to the matchday squad and stuff like that as well. I think that's a good option for a front three anyway. Not opposed to us starting the recognised front three, but I think that we can make use of these other guys as well, get them some good starts, good minutes. I would really like to see that anyway. If we go into the midfield, Fabinho, in my opinion, will be starting as centre-back because I don't know if we're going to... He could go with Reece Williams, could go with either Nat Phillips or someone like that, but I think he's going to go with Fabinho. I think he wants to strike up a little bit of a solid partnership with Fabinho and Joe Gomez at centre-back as well. I think he really wants to give that a good go to gel, to really formulate a good partnership, a trust between them, and also Alisson in goal. Alisson was at the press conference today with Jurgen Klopp, so that makes me believe that while Adrian did have a pretty good game against Ajax, that Alisson will actually be back in goal anyway. Then I think we could make changes. I don't know if Tsimikas is still going to be out. I think, according to this, he's going to be out until November, possibly. So that makes me feel like he won't be back. He's not going to make the miraculous recovery that Alisson did anyway. So it's got to be Andy Robertson at least at left back. And then you got a choice between Nico Williams and Trent Alexander-Arnold here. Could go Nico Williams, and I'm not opposed to it. I think that could be a good experience in the Champions League stage. Why not give him a chance? So I'm going to go with Nico Williams here, and then we can have a fresh Trent Alexander-Arnold at the weekend, depending on what... I haven't even looked ahead too far for our fixtures. I don't actually know who we're playing at the weekend. I really don't. I need to get better at doing that sort of research. So, into the midfield, what we could see... I think you'll definitely see Jordan Henderson. You could see James Milner as well. Curtis Jones would be a good option for us as well. Gini Wijnaldum is there as well. So what we could see, I think you could see a James Milner, Jordan Henderson and Curtis Jones midfield. That's just what I'm feeling. I'm not sure why I feel that. I think that maybe just having the dual leadership of Milner and Henderson in the midfield on a Champions League game, all right, it's not, we're not playing against, like Atalanta, or we're not playing against like bigger teams and stuff like that, but I think just having that two sets of leadership on the pitch at the same time, the captain and the vice captain, I think that could really help us, especially with Curtis Jones in the midfield as well, if that happens. Obviously, you could also see a Milner, Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum as well, but I personally think I'm going to go with Milner, Henderson and Curtis Jones as well. Curtis Jones to possibly give us that little bit more impetus and youth, athleticism, creativity into the midfield as well, especially while we're missing Naby Keita, we're missing Thiago and obviously Fabinho. While maybe not a creative midfielder, we're also going to be missing him because he's going to be playing centre-back, in my opinion, anyway. In terms of, I could go through Midtjylland's team, but honestly, when I look at it, I don't know anyone. So I'm just going to assume that they're going to be one of the most dangerous teams that we ever come up against, or their most dangerous version. They'll be wanting to come to us and put the pressure on us as much as they can. I'm hoping that Liverpool can go out there like as a statement of intent, go out there, attack from minute one, get a couple of early goals. I'm not saying like we need to score in like the first and second minute or anything like that, but get a good couple of early goals if we can. I'm not saying that we're going to take the mick and go and like do like a Maribor against these guys. I'm not going to be that disrespectful of the opposition, but I think that if we can get a couple of early goals to sort of settle the team early on, get into some good patterns of play, depending on who we play, in terms of personnel, I think that we can go out there and get a good result here. I would also like us, especially if we're starting Alisson in goal, I think we're more capable of it, of getting a clean sheet as well. It was great to get one. Adrian got one against Ajax as well, getting the 1-0 victory. Very, very awesome to start off with 3 points, a clean sheet as well. But let's build on that. Maybe score a couple of goals, get a clean sheet in this game, and then we move on to a difficult game, which will be Atalanta as well. I think that's who we play next in the Champions League, but I'm, again, not entirely sure. So for me, it might sound conservative, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. I'm hoping that we can get something like that from this. Make no mistake, I don't feel that this is going to be... It's not a shoo-in. It's not a guarantee that Liverpool are just going to rock up to this game and just... We're already winners before the kickoff is announced or the kickoff actually kicks off. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that whatsoever. I think you've still got to go out there, go against the opposition that you've got to go against, and beat the opposition that you come up against and beat them, hopefully. I don't want to say easily, because I don't think any game is easy. Honestly, I really don't. I don't think any game is going to be easy whatsoever for Liverpool this season. 2-0 is the prediction from me. That is also my lineup as well. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be starting? Who do you think is going to maybe be a key player for us? What do you think the system's going to be? Is it going to be the 4-3-3? Could it also be the 4-2-3-1? Or maybe something just a little bit different? And what do you think the end result is going to be for Liverpool? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Take care, and I'll catch you later.